Yo, what up? It's your boy Migs, and welcome to Tell You the Truth podcast. We at episode 5. We not stopping, we staying consistent. We're gonna build an army and we're gonna keep telling the truth. I want to give a shout out to my fans, my new listeners, people listening to my music. I do drop music. I got a new single coming out for Valentine's Day called Get It In. I hope y'all stay tuned for that. Um, it was a rough week this week. This week was it went by fast, but it was like man, I don't know. I had the blues this week. I had the blues. But I need everybody to like and subscribe and comment, share because I guess when you're telling the truth and you telling your perspective on things, they want to silence you. Like I've been shadow banned so much on YouTube, it's out of control. It's no doubt they're shadow banning me. So um yeah, let's get right to it. We're gonna be talking about a few politics, like always, a lot of politics. Um, a lot of politics. We got the Epstein stuff. We got the Epstein stuff. We got the Super Bowl recap. I hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl with their friends and family. Um, I know a lot of people lost money. I did because for some reason I thought the Patriots were gonna come through and make a miracle. I don't know. I don't know why I even thought about that. Like, I think that's why I think that was part of my like little like depression in the beginning of the week. Like, I was just so out of it. Like, I was such in a bad mood. I think it's the gambling sometimes. Like, it just depletes your dopamine or whatever it does, your serotonin, whatever it does. But I was just out of it. I was just out of it. I was drinking the wine, was a little lit off the wine, but yeah, I was but we back now, we ain't gonna stop. It's Friday. Um, it's episode 5. You feel me? So we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl, the Epstein bull crap. There's a lot of Epstein stuff. Um, yeah, like a little bit of politics, and then we got a few albums that came out. We got A Boogie just dropped the EP. Charlie XCX just dropped the album. I reheard the Baby's album because the Baby's been in the algorithms lately. And who else did I hear? Brent Fayez. Brent Fayez just dropped the album, so we're gonna rate those later. But let's get into it. Let's get into let's start with the Super Bowl. Shout out to my Latinos. Shout out to Bad Bunny. Um, I rewatched it. I rewatched the Super Bowl halftime show because I was a little tipsy off the red wine. So I a few days later I was like, I didn't even watch it. I saw a few clips. I saw Lady Gaga on the stage and I was like, "Oh man, what is she doing on that stage?" Out of all people, out of all people, Lady Gaga, come on. Come on. We already know the history with Lady Gaga. We know what she about. So I didn't like that. I couldn't really hate on Bad Bunny until I saw it. So shout out to him. I think he broke the record for most viewers ever for a Super Bowl. That's big. That's a win for us Latinos. Um, so I rewatched it. Did a great job. He did a great job. You know, I can't hate. Whatever political beliefs he has, whatever political beliefs I have. You can't hate on what's right and what's good and what's truthful. And he did a great show. He did a great show. I cannot hate on that. I just didn't like that. It was It was I mean, come on. Lady Gaga didn't have to bring her on. Really didn't have to bring her on. Ricky Martin, well, okay. If that's the route he's trying to go, then oh well. Ricky Martin wasn't so bad. But Lady Gaga, come on. Come on. But overall good show. Um what's what's funny is that right after the Super Bowl, it was an ice commercial right after it. It was literally an ice commercial right after the Super Bowl show, halftime show. What a coincidence. But man, you can't make this up. But great show. Um, I wonder who's gonna beat that record. They're gonna have to keep bringing Latinos because way too many Latinos in this world. And then you already know the goat CB, the goat Chris Brown says it's safe to say they need me. Oof. CB throwing shots. I didn't think it was a bad show for CB to say that. Chris Brown. Yeah, I think Chris Brown needs to be in the Super Bowl. I think a lot of people need to be in the Super Bowl. Drake, Chris Brown, of course. You know that's our modern day Michael Jackson, the closest to it. Nah, man, you guys are not gonna get a Chris Brown Super Bowl. I don't think so, y'all. Unless Jay Z has a change of heart, unless the crazy Karens out there have a change of heart, I don't see Chris Brown ever doing the Super Bowl. You know, he got that case that happened to him, what, 20 years ago? And it's still haunting him, and people still not letting it go. And it's like they're so biased because there's so many people that have been on that stage that have had domestic violence cases and had records, but CB, I guess, hit Rihanna 20 years ago and it's still bad. There's a lot of selective politicking. So, I mean, if Jay Z's really for hip hop and R&B, if you're gonna bring Rihanna, you gotta bring Chris Brown on that stage. You know, but God is good. Chris Brown really don't need it because Chris Brown is Chris Brown. He literally did the Breezy Bowl this year, and it was a success. You know, you can't stop greatness. Yeah, leave it in the comments. Which I think. Yeah, I think CB is gonna be able to do a show. He's already about to hit, about to hit 37 years old. It's getting late. I don't know. Sorry. But yeah, so how do y'all feel about these Epstein files, man? I feel like these past 2 weeks have just been Epstein this, Epstein that, Epstein this, Epstein that. And it's like, what world am I living in? Like, I really think this guy was really like, this guy ran the world. The way they talking about this guy. Like, I understand if, like they call him a, they call him a, a sex trafficker, a child trafficker. I'm so sorry. They call him a child trafficker. But dang, the way they talk about this guy is like, okay, say the names, say the people in that, say the people that were, because we have the victims already. Why they just can't say their names and let's get it over with? Release the files, release the files, release the files. Everybody wakes up, release the files. You feel me? Like, release the files. The victims are literally at the courthouse. They're there. Say the people. They know who affected them. They know who did what to them. They need to release the people that did it. We got the Epstein files. Well, whatever they gave us, we got that. And it ain't pretty. You know, you got Bill Gates in it, you got Obama, you got not Obama, you got Clinton in it. You know, the far left were screaming, "Release the files! Release the files!" And they did release it. And in one of the files is showing that Trump was a whistleblower was one of the whistleblowers to Epstein. If I go live tomorrow, I'll show some clips. He was a whistleblower in I think 2016 or maybe I don't know if I'm saying the year right, but he was saying to the FBI, keep an eye on this guy. There's something fishy with this guy. That's in the files of Trump. They thought that Trump was in the files. It was all a play. Elon Musk, that was all a play. The files is only making the Democratic Party worse. And now they're saying they were saying for 2 3 weeks or maybe 2 months, release the files, release the files, release the files. And they released the files, and now they're saying, you released too much. You released too many files. Huh? ¿Cómo? I don't get it no more, bro. Like, I really just gotta fall back. I just say it to say it because it's just, I want to just talk common sense. But I really just fell back. I just laugh. Like in my live, if I go live again, if I go live tomorrow, I'm going to show you a lady literally saying you released too many files. What does that even mean? You were begging to release the files, and now you are crying because they released too much. They're never satisfied. It's always Trump, Trump, Trump. And that's why I can't wait until Trump leaves office because I want to know what they're going to be mad about after that. What is the new mad about? Yo, if they're still mad at Trump after he's not president no more, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because we do got proof of Clinton in those files. We do got proof of Bill Gates in those files. We have proof of a lot of things in those files, and nobody's saying anything but Trump. Jasmine Crockett, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She literally said that she will lie just to ruin Trump. They're just being straight up with it. Like, we're going to lie to ruin Trump. You could put it up, but Jasmine Crockett says that she will lie just to ruin Trump. Insanity. Insanity. So yeah, I think Epstein is still alive. I don't know why, but I'm just putting the pieces together. I think Epstein might be still alive. I mean, the only thing that makes me doubt it is because they say there was like those people that the autopsy people, they say that they saw the body. So that's the only thing, but I think Epstein might be still alive because why is Jaylene Maxwell, his wife, still pleading the fifth? I would have been like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I would have snitched. I would have what? He's dead already. I would have been said everything. Unless she's scared that someone might get her. But yeah, she pleading the fifth. She pleading the fifth on everything. Is she trying to save Epstein or is she trying to save? Keep an eye out on that girl. Keep an eye out on that girl. Straight up. Keep an eye out on that girl. because something's not right with that news video we just saw of her pleading the fifth to everything. Something's not right. But man, yo, y'all stay tuned. Y'all be y'all just I just want people to open their eyes and see the signs. Open your third eye and see the signs. If you I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you think we landed on the moon, that's the first step to opening your eyes, to opening up your third eye. Just really look into the moon landing and how that's not for real. And really dig in and then when you start seeing the lies, your third eye slowly opens. And I already know YouTube is gonna shadow ban me for everything I say. So I don't care. I hope somebody hears it and but open that eye. We need to stop the sheep behavior. Sorry. We need to stop the sheep behavior. And then well, so we wrap it up on the when we wrap it up on let's wrap it up on the politics. How do y'all feel about the Save Act? Literally, people are fighting about the Save Act. Simple bill that was passed just to say if you want to vote, just have your ID. So sad, and people are fighting about that. Can you believe that they're fighting about that? They're saying, "Oh, people don't know how to get people don't know how to get their IDs. The black community don't know how to get their IDs. The immigrants, what? They're really like the left is literally saying that people are too stupid to get an ID or to get a birth certificate or get a marriage certificate. But they're literally just saying just have an ID, like everybody else has an ID. Literally everybody has an ID. Even if you don't drive, some even a kid has an ID. And they're arguing about that, and we all know why. Because with voter IDs, with IDs, you can't steal an election. But yeah, man, that's the politics. Like I said, common sense ain't common sense no more. But we gonna keep talking our shit, and we're gonna keep putting our foots in their neck. Like one viewer is gonna listen and it's gonna spark an idea. It's gonna spark the lion in them to not be a sheep. You know, because I was a sheep once. I was a sheep, and that's why I tell people look at the moon stuff. Look at the moon stuff. Really do your research. Not really go into the research different perspectives, and you're gonna see we were lied to since the beginning, and you have to use your own common sense to figure things out. Do not listen to these people. So yeah, you not know what time it is. It's new music with Miggy. Didn't really hear no new singles. I was just listening to albums. I think it was like I heard about 4 albums today. uh, Nothing spectacular, but at least Charlie came out. At least we got some new music from the Brat. Not that Brat, but Charlie. Charlie's the new Brat. I'm sorry, y'all. I guess I get as soon as I start talking, my gotta clear my throat. But nah, yeah. So I heard some new music. I'm gonna start doing New artist of the week because I feel like we should also give flowers to these new artists that have been working hard but not really getting the mainstream light. So the new artist of the week for me that I encountered that was really good. I might go back and listen to that new album that they just dropped. His name is Fabo. Fabo. Um, check him out. Phabo. Really good R&B music. I was reading about him. It said that he was a singer songwriter. Said he wrote for a lot of big names, but great music. Great music. I'm definitely going to listen. I'm going to listen to his stuff. I skimmed through it, but great artist. Make sure you check him out. His name is Fabo. Good, decent music, good harmonies. Um, yeah, check him out. So we'll start off with Charlie, Wuthering Heights. Um, man, Charlie's Charlie. You know, even if it's is that a point right now? Like even if it's bad, it's still good. That's the momentum she's on right now. Can't forget that her husband is the drummer of the 1975. And if people don't know, the drummer is literally the one that he's the he's the brains of the whole music. When it's finishing, he's like the just finishes everything and it just makes it sound like wow. So yeah, so the album was pretty good. It was I think it was an album but also a soundtrack album. So you could tell there wasn't really like they weren't really hungry. They weren't really like, oh, it's art, it's my project. It was their project, but you could tell the movie soundtrack. It was really like for them. But like I said, her production is fire. Her husband is George from 1975. I know he touched up on it, and it wasn't bad. I gave it a 7.4. So if you all my Charlie XCX fans, check it out. Wasn't bad. I gave it a 7.4, man. Cause man, that last album, the Brat, sheesh. So I gave it a 7.4. I might have been biased a little bit. Maybe I gave her a higher rating. Let me know if I did. But 7.4 for Charlie. And Brent Fayez, Icon, dropped today. Man, I think a lot of people not gonna like. Man, Brent Fayez, man. I heard the album. I gave it a 7.0. It was decent. You could tell he really tried. Good production. His lyrics is okay. Lyrics is alright. He had one or two songs that was good lyrics, but I, my opinion, why doesn't he use pitch correction in his vocals? Like he's off key on a lot of songs. I understand, I don't use auto tune. I'm original. Bro. Everybody uses auto tune. Beyonce, even Michael Jackson was using auto tune in the 80s. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Everybody uses pitch correction when you are a mainstream artist. And if you don't, you're going to sound like Brent Fayez. A lot of songs were off key. A lot of songs I couldn't really hear it. It's like your the beat is not landing with the beat. You're good, Brent, but just please put a little pitch correction on your voice. Please. Just a little pitch correction. I gave him a 7.0, because he tried. He tried and he wasn't, you know. But if you're listening, Brent, just a little pitch correction on your voice, just to make it sound soothing, because 7.0. That's a good rating though. I'm telling you out, seven point something and up is good rating. It means you tried. It means it's decent. Anything over 8 is like, bro, great music, But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I heard the Baby Be Grateful album because I've been seeing his name on the algorithm. So I was like, you know what? Let me hear his album. uh, man, the fall off of the Baby needs to be studied. Album wasn't bad. I gave it a 6.5, but if y'all heard the last podcast I said that Don Toliver's album was saved by producers. The Baby's album was not saved by producers. The beats were half of the beats were not even. Yeah, it sound like you got them off BeatStars. It sounded like you had them beats in your email for like 10 years. The production wasn't like production, not production. Well, the mixing and mastering wasn't up to par. I don't know if he's still with the same label. I gotta check. But it's such a big difference. Big difference. I gave it a 6.5 because there were some songs that he was really talking. He was really saying stuff. There was a song called Letter to YN. That was a great record. That was great lyrics. Um, he did his thing on that. So I gave it a 6.5. The Baby is talented, and you could feel the passion in his in some of his lyrics. But I had to give it a 6.5. Hopefully he gets back on track, and we could get a better album in the future. And last but not least, we had A Boogie with the Hoodie. I think the album, it was an EP. It was called Before Artistry. It only has 6 songs. So he's taking the safe route. He's taking the safe route. I gave it a 7 point. I gave it a 7 out of 10. He took the safe route. Put 6 songs. The songs weren't bad. There was one song that was a sample. I think it was "Dead to Me." That song was fire. That song was super fire. So yeah. I need people to comment, like, and subscribe. Share as much as you can because they are shadow banning me for the politics section. I just want to give my perspective. Like I said, I don't hate nobody for their views, and that's what we need to start doing. And that's why Bad Bunny is basically saying the the only the only thing more powerful than hate is love. And that's basically what we need to do. We need to put our stuff aside and stop being so hateful. It's out of control. The hate, the hate, the hate. Like if you don't like something, just brush it off. Mute them. Just mute them. But don't let it make you so angry and mad. All right. So this is episode 5. I hope this is episode 5. um, yeah, I believe it is episode 5. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm putting in this work and stuff. Episode 5. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, God willing, and we're gonna keep moving. It's your boy Miggy Miggs, and this is the Tell You the Truth podcast. Have a great night. Enjoy yourself.
To tell you the truth is where you need to be.